Facebook Connect is coming on October the 28th. If there's anything we've learned from previous Connects, it's that they still love virtual reality and they love announcing things about virtual reality. There have been whispers about another Quest headset, and I have made a video about whether you should wait for it or buy the Quest 2. But what actual information do we have about it? So let's take a look at all the things that we know right now, what we can expect, as well as a healthy dose of speculation, because everyone loves a discussion. Welcome back to the VRC, where we like to talk about VR and tech. So if you're new here, do say hi in the comments and feel free to subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell. Before we find out more about the next Quest, I'd like to quickly tell you about VRCover, who are kindly sponsoring this video. If you do own a Quest or are looking to get a Quest 2 and fancy a bit of accessory shopping, because you know, who doesn't, then the VRCover website should definitely be a place you should visit. They are the experts in making facial interfaces. They won't give you a rash like the stock ones, and they're wipe clean, hygienic, so perfect for sharing and using for your VR fitness. Of course, they make the best halo protectors too, which in my opinion is one of the most important accessories to get for the Quest 2, since those controllers will take a beating, and without them, well, you can't do VR. So get those before they're gone. They do plenty of other great VR gear too, including my favourite Quest 2 case, and they definitely get a seal of approval from this channel, where of course reviewing Quest 2 accessories is our speciality. There's a VRCover link in the description and the pinned comment. Go check them out using that if you will. That's the link that lets them know that I sent you and that I'm worth their time. So the next Quest, we're not quite 100% about the name, whether it's going to be a Quest 2 Pro, a Quest 3 or a Quest Pro, but Redditor Reggie04 did a deep dive into the code for the latest Quest update and found some interesting things. First, he found an actual reference to a device called the Quest Pro. He found a string or a bit of text that says Quest Pro estimates your hand size and how they move, so you use your hands instead of controllers in VR. So it looks like that's our new device's name. And of course, Andrew Bosworth has already mentioned the Quest Pro by name when talking about some new functionality they wanted to feature in a headset. And what does that mean? Well, if you compare the Quest 1 and Quest 2, there is no new functionality. The Quest 2 is just a higher resolution and refresh rate and faster version of the Quest 1. In fact, you can actually argue it lost some functionality, but that's a different video. So what functionality could the Quest Pro gain? Well, other strings found by Reggie04 includes the instructions to calibrate face tracking. Things like smiling naturally, pulling an angry face, a frown and a surprised expression, which you're required to hold for a few seconds. Failed to calibrate. Too ugly. Please take off the headset and return to Mark. And then there's some calibration instructions for eye tracking, where you're instructed to follow a target with your gaze. There are also some hardware references too, including the headset requesting you to slide the lenses together to increase clarity. This would be a reference to the IPD slider, and let's point out that they use the word slide. You could argue that we currently slide the Quest 2 lenses into the different IPD positions, but it's really more of a click. Remember, the Quest 2 has 3 preset IPD positions, which meant a lot of people found the headset a bit blurry to use. I'm wondering if the Quest Pro has a similar method to the Quest 2 to slide the lenses, i.e. you physically move the lenses rather than a slider like the Quest 1, but with the important advantage that the Quest Pro can slide into a large range of positions rather than just clicking into 3. That's good news for a lot of people. The other hardware reference is that of an eye relief function, the ability to move lenses closer or further away from your eyes. This was actually something seen on the Rift S. Remember the Rift? That no one really talked about, but it was a nice feature, both for people who wanted relief from eye strain and also people like me who just wanted the lenses as close as possible to increase the field of view. It seems that the Quest Pro is going to have a depth button like the Rift S, but not only this, it talks about a wheel that can be turned left or right to adjust tightness, i.e. it looks like the Quest Pro will be coming with a more substantial strap, one that can be tightened with a dial. I'm not sure how I feel about that, since after trying an absolute load of straps, some of them being really good, I do still go back to a simple pad on the back of the stock strap, which I find to be the perfect mix of comfort and compactness. So that's the information we have so far, and if any comes out right after this video, be sure to tell us in the comments. Now, there is another bit of a clue.
I think I'm getting a clue.
You may or may not remember that Mark Zuckerberg has previously said that because of how hardware gets developed, you kind of need to know what your next 3 products are going to look like all at the same time. Well, back in July 2020, we found out that the fabled Half Dome 3 headset with varifocal lenses and eye tracking was almost ready for prime time. From the article on Upload VR, there's a table with what are known as technology readiness levels, or TRLs. TR1 is where a scientist is just thinking about what kind of features they might want in a product, whereas TR9 is a finished product available in the shops. Now, back in 2020, July, Half Dome 3 was said to be in level 5 or beyond. That's over a year ago now, and remember, the Quest 2 pretty much sprung up out of nowhere. So, is our Quest Pro going to be basically a commercial release of the Half Dome 3? Now, that would actually be pretty amazing, but it would also mean that my previous prediction that the next Quest won't have all these features was wrong. I had good reason. Boz said they were a long way off. I don't really see why things like eye and face tracking would appear in updates if it's for a headset 2 generations away. So let's sum up all the things that we think that we know, and also, one more time, is it still safe to buy a Quest 2 right now? So,
a needle pulling thread.
It looks like the Quest Pro will have better hand tracking, face tracking, a sliding IPD, eye relief, a better strap, and I didn't mention this, but probably much better colour pass-through cameras for AR, which is also a big thing for Facebook. Add to that the idea that the Quest Pro is meant to be an all-in device with none of Quest 2's shortcomings. Then we can add either 2 panels or a larger panel to give a much bigger field of view. Better resolution and a stable refresh rate of 120 Hz is also likely. The sound of the Quest 2 is often complained about, but that is easily fixed by headphones though, so they might not bother improving that and just stick with the audio coming out the strap. If the Half Dome image is anything to go by, then the device should be much smaller and less front heavy, which people still complained about with the Quest 2, even though it was smaller than the Quest 1. Ironically, meaning that a simple strap would actually be fine. That would actually give us a headset like the ones we see in Ready Player One. So all in all, it looks like it's going to be a bit of a beast. And of course, it brings us back to whether it's safe to buy a Quest 2 right now. And just like before, I am going to say yes. My reasons? Well, for one, the leaks of the Quest 2 happened about 3 months before the release date, and nothing has been leaked yet. Also, Boz did say that the Quest Pro will not happen this year. The Quest 2 will be around for a long while and be the most accessible way to get into VR and have a great experience. So,
A needle pulling thread.
when it finally does get released, I'm pretty sure the 2 devices will coexist. This means one will be a lot more expensive than the other. You aren't going to be in the position that many of us were when we bought a Quest 1 and they released a device that is pretty much better in every way and cheaper. Facebook, that hurt. There will be a point sometime in the future where one of you buys a Quest 2 and then the Quest Pro gets released. The difference this time is that I believe it will cost at least $599. I really don't think it's going to be $499 because that's very close in price to the 256GB Quest 2 at $399, thus rendering that one a bit pointless, unless they discontinue the 256. I do doubt that because some people like the space. $599 seems about right to me. That's double the price of the base Quest 2, but a lot cheaper than devices like the Vive Pro or the Valve Index were. Remember, their new ability with the Quest Pro to know that you looked at an advert and then smiled will get them a lot of money from advertisers. Remember to mention little old me if you make a video about that before I do. So if you've just bought a $299 Quest 2 and then a $599 headset is released that you would have bought if you knew about it, well, let's face it, you've obviously got the money to buy both, or at least sell the Quest 2 and then get the Pro. So you've really got nothing to worry about. So if you want to get into VR now, just go for it. I think you've still got nothing to worry about, and also watch my accessory videos to help you decide how you want to kit it out. And what about Facebook Connect that's coming up? I do think they'll be showing us the Pro, not releasing it like they did with the Quest 2 last time, but telling us a lot about it and maybe when they do plan to release it next year. It's going to be interesting. These are exciting times for virtual reality, and like them or loathe them, Facebook are really helping put it on the map. So over to you. What features would you like to see on the Pro, or what do you think it's going to have, and when do you think it's going to come out? If you've made it this far, then you are a star. Watching my videos until the end is literally the best thing you can do to help this little channel grow, so I do thank you. Don't forget all the usual stuff. Sub if you haven't, ding the bell, and like the video if you did like it. Also, Don't forget there's always a giveaway running on this channel, and they are in my tech videos, so check out the latest one to see what you can win. If you're interested in e-scooters or e-bikes, I've recently done videos on 2 fantastic and cheap options, so check them out if you're interested. Electric vehicles have actually become one of my outdoor obsessions lately, and they are so much fun. So that brings us to the end. Thank you again for watching, and I would love to see you next time. See ya!